For 2010 spring break, I was invited on a snowboarding trip to Denver, Colorado. I'd gone boarding once before in Michigan, and I didn't find it too difficult, so I thought this was going to be an amazingly fun trip. The car ride was 17 hours long, and the anticipation kept building. I had never been to the mountains, and I couldn't wait to see the scenery. We drove all night long, and finally we arrived in Denver. The next morning, we got up early to start our journey to the ski resort. We were planning on going 4 days out of the week, and we had our tickets already purchased. When we pulled into the parking lot, it was not what I was expecting. At the house, it was 60 degrees and sunny, and in the mountains, it was 20 degrees and a blizzard. Trying to ignore the weather, we headed up the mountain and finally got to the top. When we got off the lift, the snow was blowing and it was freezing. I couldn't even see 2 feet in front of me. I soon realized this was not going to be like snowboarding in Michigan. I became really scared and I didn't know how I was going to get down this 2-mile-long mountain. Once we found our path, we started heading down and the weather cleared a little bit. The thick snow kept making it hard for me and I kept falling over and over again. It felt like snowboarding was impossible to learn. After getting so frustrated with it, I began bawling my eyes out. I cried the rest of the way down and as I kept falling repeatedly. It took us over an hour to get to the bottom, which usually only takes 10 minutes. Once at the bottom, I took my board off and threw it across the snow. I went into the lodge still crying and there I stayed the rest of the day. I told the boys to just sell my tickets because I did not want to go back up that mountain. The lodge was where I was going to stay for the rest of the week. The next morning when we got to the resort, the weather had completely changed. Today it was warm and sunny and almost perfect outside. It was going to be really hard to hang out inside the lodge. After some encouragement from the boys, I decided to face my fear and try it one more time. Looking up at the lift, I felt a little nervous, but I really wanted to try. The lift took us up to the same hill I cried down the other day. I was scared beyond belief, but I needed to do this. So I jumped my board toward the mountain and started down the hill. By the end of the week, I'd conquered my fear and ended up loving it. Snowboarding is my new favorite hobby. I was able to ride all the way down the hill without falling and without a tear. I did not want to leave Colorado by the end of the week. The lesson I learned from this trip is never to give up on something you want so bad. I expected myself to be perfect right away, and when I wasn't, I got mad. It is really true what they say, practice makes perfect. I got back out on that mountain and I practiced, and now I absolutely love to snowboard.